Kieran's a good player, very good offensive player, and he's getting better defensively. He's kind of like Zach Toussaint when he came in, except Kieran's big and strong, and Zach is really skilled and gifted. But Kieran's very gifted as well. I mean, he's very tough to stop down on the block. He can shoot the three, knocked down a three the other night, and if he can really figure out defensively what he's doing out there, he'll be a really good player for us. But it's tough when you come in as a high school player. And he played at a smaller school, and probably I watched him play quite a bit in high school, and it was, hey, just don't get in foul trouble. We need you on the court. Well, now it's a different game, and so there's some big, strong kids that are going after him, and he's really starting to progress and get better and better. So, yeah, he's a very nice player for us.
Speaking of Zach, he came in hot, knocked down that three off the opening tip, and then he gets back in and gets like, I think you guys were 5-0. It was all Zach to start.
We were talking about that after the game, and Zach played a really, really good game last night. His defense was pretty solid. He got called for a really cheap little foul to start the game, and he's not a complainer. He's not someone that's going to back down or whine or complain. Usually he leaves that to me. I'll do that. But he's just a tough kid. He's a gritty kid. He's been there before. He's broken so many records, and he's been part of 4 conference tournament championships, and there's been some ups and downs. There's no question about it. But I'll take him any day on my team.
It looked like they're at the middle of the first there. There was a turnover that you guys had that was just a mistimed pass.
Yeah.
Little things like that. I mean, moving forward in the season, especially playing competition like you did yesterday, 7-point win. How much, I guess, goes into working on those little things to try to clean up the game?
You're spot on. And we had more than one of those the other day. And it's just something that you're going to have that in a game sometimes. It's 40 minutes, and everything, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be clean. And, I think our guys, too, and we talked about this, we didn't have the best practices. We were over at the box. We're playing on a different kind of surface. I think it was 95 degrees in there, which was just, and then the FUB was a little bit cooler. But it's just different. And then we had finals. And, you can make excuses. The other team had to travel. They have finals, all that stuff. But I think our guys were really focused. We had the best GPA ever in school history for men's basketball this last year. We're trying to break that. And I think we have a chance. I really do. I think we have a chance. We'll see how they did, and that'll come out this week. But, it's just a little bit different. And we just weren't clicking 100%. And you got to fight through that. And so it kind of happened over at Oklahoma Christian, too. We went 0 for 6 in the first half from 3. We weren't clicking, knocking down the shots that we normally do. And you got to find ways to win. And that's what excites me about this team is they're finding ways to win. When we're not great defensively maybe one night or not great offensively, but you gut it out and you find ways to win. I thought Journey Phillips played really well. I thought Isaac came in and gave us some really good minutes. Ack played better. Larry was solid. He didn't have his best game, but that's his standards are way up here. He had a really good game, but it's one of those things. Noah Pagoto had a good game, could have had a better game, and he knows that as well. He missed a little layup here and there, just 2 little chintzy little layups that he'll never. He's gonna make 99% of those, but he missed one. And so you just gotta click on all levels. If we click on all levels, we could start blowing some teams out. If we don't, we can get beat. There's such a fine line. Kingsville, I think, is only 2-6 on the year. That's a really good team that we just played. Really good. But they've played some good competition. And so, and it's coach speak, but you got to be ready to go every night. International's coming in. International is very good. And they just got beat by Lubbock last night or yesterday, and so they're going to be really amped up to try to get a win against WT. So if we're not ready, we'll be in trouble. But I think our guys are focused. Should be a great college game. We're having some community come in as well, so maybe we'll get a bigger crowd for that and should have a lot of fun.
How exciting is that, though, knowing you haven't reached that potential yet? Because the ceiling is huge, and like you said, the talent's there. You just gotta find it.
DJ, you're right. It's just, we're just not. We've got 6 freshmen on our team. 1 is redshirting, the other 5 are playing, and a couple haven't gotten minutes. But that's because we're pretty deep, and we've got a couple freshmen that are pretty good. I mean, Harry Evans, Mackenzie Morgan, they're right there. They're right there. And those guys, were on scout team this week, and our scout team was beaten up on our first 5. And it's tough because the first 5 you're playing games and you come back to practice. Scout team, they kind of rest up a little bit sometimes on those weekend games because they're not playing too much. So they're fresh legs, they're ready to go. But I tell you what, they looked really good this week. I would not have a problem putting any one of those guys out on the court. It's just sometimes hard finding some minutes for those guys.
You talked about Noah Pagano. How tall is he?
He's 6'7" without shoes.
Is he a little humble, scared to bring down the Raptors? Because every time I see him go up for a dunk, he's just kind of a lightweight.
Tell you, we gotta get him a little bit meaner. But he is we probably have the nicest team that we've had in 25, 26 years. I'm telling you, they're great kids. I wish they had a little attitude on the court sometimes. I don't want them to be woofing at the other coach or talking or anything like that. You don't need to do it. There's no place for it. But you got to have that little chip on your shoulder every game that someone's coming in trying to beat you, and you've got to go after them. And I think we had that yesterday. It was a tough game. Kevon Booker played for us for 3 years. And Kevon's a very good player. C.J. Smith is one of the best guards in the league, and we were interested in him as well. And it just didn't work out. And that was a tough game and a very good team, very talented team. Would not be surprised of them knocking some teams off later in the year. That's just the way it is. College basketball in the Lone Star Conference, if you're not ready to go, you're going to get beat.
Speaking of great players, last week you had in one of the best young talents here, Ben and T.J.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that was a good visit for him?
No comment right now. We better not, I don't want to get any NCAA violations, but if there is NIL money out there for him, Coach Brown will take it. No, it's
really big on his WT.
it's a fun situation. I hope he comes here, and I can comment on that because now I'm speaking as a parent. But it's a tough situation. Do you want to play for your dad? Do you want to maybe go somewhere else? Do you want to stay close to home? There's a lot of variables that come into effect. And he doesn't score a ton of points, but he's someone that I'd love to have on our team, and he's kind of a glue guy. I think he's just going to get better and better and better as well. I don't think he's, his dad, myself, I don't think I really peaked in high school. I didn't even play varsity until I was a senior in high school in basketball, and had a pretty nice basketball career at Winona State. And but there's just so many good players out there. The number one thing that you want on your team is guys that want to be on your team. And I really feel like he wants to be here at WT. So we'll see what happens.
I think we talked a little bit about the High Desert Classic last week, but also looking past that, right at Christmas, you guys have that exhibition against Hardin-Simmons. Can you talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah, just the Hardin-Simmons game. We had a game scheduled with Lubbock Christian there, and it got moved on us. And so, to go in right after the break and not play and then go on the road over to Midwestern is tough. So we scheduled Hardin-Simmons, which is great. They're coming up here. And I believe Ty Bryant from Canyon is on that team. So I know he'll want to play well, and he's a very good player. It's something that we're going to get a lot of guys into that game. We're not going to play anybody over probably 20 minutes. But, we definitely want to try to win the game. But we're going to get some guys on the court, and then we're going to get ready for that conference. You just had Cameron beat St. Ed's on the road by 15. And Cameron last year was kind of lower in the conference. St. Ed's is very good, as you guys know. And, St. Ed's just knocked off Midwestern, who only had one loss on the year. The LSC and just basketball in general is so much fun because you better be ready to go every night or you're going to get beat. And it's a great time of the year.